Alright, Edconnect error code. The transmission failed. The Edconnect asks you to review the activity log for the details. In most cases, the error message within the activity log consists of the error number, the file with the by brief explanation of the error. The first section of the Edconnect 8X error code list provides a description of the numerical errors you must retrieve, the possible resolutions. Some of the resolutions may require help with your technical support staff and network administration. Under certain circumstances, you may receive non-numerical error messages other than program error. To describe the non-numerical error section of the list entities are arranged alphabetical unless most commonly caused with particular error is noted as first. Security authentic errors occur with the user tries to log in the education connection without the proper credentials. You need to assign with the financial student aid user ID password and one of the time passwords if applicable to financial student aid before you can log in the education to connect. The instruction assumes the Education Connect program files have been installed to the default C program files Edconnect folder. The program files will typically be located on local hard drive, even the Edconnect databases on the network drive. If the Edconnect has been installed, a different folder, they adjust the instructions accordingly. Before calling the Student Aid Internet Gateway Help Desk, before contacting the Student Aid Internet Gateway Help Desk in the 800-330-5947 by email at the CPSA Student Aid Internet Gateway at Education Gov for the assistant transmission problems. Make sure that they are unable to access the Internet Edconnect or use of the existing Internet connection. If you are unable to view the web page of the web browser, Edge connection will now be able to connect with the Student Aid Internet Gateway. You must also want to try one or more of the following to resolve the transmission problems. Education Edconnect will log back in the try another transmission. Restart your computer. Try another transmission if it's connected to the internet. Local internet. Restarting your computer may establish a better connection. If you connect to the internet through the modem and the internet service provided with the disconnect with the internet connecting again, try another transmission. Wait until try another transmission later. If there has been successful sending and receiving files with using Edconnect, many transmission errors, the error 1 through error 4XX, particularly resolve themselves. No, after the failed transmission, the mailbox square will usually report that in your mailbox is empty. This does not mean that your files have been lost. Successful transmission is required before the mailbox query will accurately reflect the contents of your Student Aid Internet Gateway mailbox. Under normal circumstances, you will not lose any of the files due to the transmission failures. The Edconnect or activity log can help you determine which files you have successfully received. Or 7.1 numerical error. The error code may proceed with the minus sign with the error 1 message. The error 1 message present with the absent minus sign does not change with the meaning of the numerical codes listed below. The student error aid internet Gateway Help Desk cannot provide specific information, configuration, firewalls, or proxy services. Although we may be able to offer the general assistance, the error 1 indicates that education connection cannot be connected with the Student Aid Internet Gateway. They receive the error 1, for example, if your internet connection is not responsible for the firewall preventing the education connection with the accessing the internet listed below are some of the possible causes of the error 1. Inadequate possession settings of the you might have the necessary permissions accessible workstation, network transmission, Edconnect, read, write, and notify the rights required for local drive network location, Edconnection database, Edconnection MDBs, or the check that your technical support staff have one of the network technicians and log into your workstation as an administrator and try the transmission. If the transmission successfully, the technician will need to change your permission to access rights. Internet connection lost. Internet connection is lost. Make sure that you're able to view the web page in the web browser. If unable to access the internet, Edge connection will not be able to connect the Student Aid Internet Gateway. Local area network connection is not plugged in. Make sure the LAN and locating area network is connected with the workstation. If not plugged in, with the plug cable back into the network card in the workstation. Recreate your firewall proxy server with the traffic shaper and connection rules. Connect to your IT department so the network technician can detail info reference and rules regarding the Edge Connect using the port 265.8.1. Access Student Aid Internet Gateway Mailbox AD.gov and include the defined host of the IP address of the Student Aid Internet Gateway Mailbox ED.gov. Then recreate these rules. Alright, restart your computer and access the internet through the LAN. Rebooting of your computer may resolve the error 1. Restarting of your computer will establish the new connection to your network. Port 265.8.1 is closed by the firewall. Port 265.8.1 must open outward by the TCP IP and transmission enabled the FTP sessions, as you will need to be able to connect the Student Aid Internet Gateway Mailbox at ED.gov. If you have never successfully transmitted with the ED contact, you connect your network administrator to see if you're behind a firewall. Proxy client not installed. The error must be incurred with the proxy service running with the network. There is no proxy clients. The workstation that you're using the Edconnect is on the proxy client on the workstation. The use of the Edconnect may also transmission go through. Proxy server is not configured if you have not a proxy configured port of 26581 must be open for the outbound TCP IP and transmission enabled the FTP sessions. Your network administration may be added. The rule of the proxy filters. Common proxy servers include WinProxy, MS Proxy, WinGate, and Border Manager. Novell product vendors may be able to provide specific information about the proxy setup. Temporary problems with student-aided internet gateway. Occasionally there may be a momentary disruption in the student-aided internet gateway causing you to receive an error 1. If you normally do have the transmitting Edconnect, the problem will resolve itself in the short time to add another transmission later. You want to wait until the peak of the student-aided internet gateway network domain, which is between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. Workstation has no firewall. Client. If the network has a firewall require the client workstation that use the education connection may receive the error 1. Client is not installed. The technical support should be installed with the firewall client. It's necessary the workstation for the use of the education connection. The firewall vendor may be able to provide with the technical assistance. Alright, 712. Error 2 occurs the educational foundation cannot be found using an FTP session. Error 2 occurs when immediately upon transmission. To resolve the error, to confirm all the following subdirectories exist in the CIM student internet gateway temporary directory. The data or error incoming maintenance MD outgoing runtime which will contain with the subject directory IGM security temporary area, which will also contain the files. And so should any of the directories not exist, please manually recreate them and reinstall the education connection. Next, check the read, write, modify permissions of the directories that are required. You may need to contact with the technical support staff for assistance. Note this error can also be used in the education connection, but cannot establish the FTP session. See error 1 for the possible solutions. Alright, see error 3. Error 3 occurs with the during the transmission prevents the files from being sent or received. The error 3 of the occurring with the transmission prevents files from being sent or received. The user may not have the necessary permissions to receive the sending of the files from the directory. For example, the user may not have the read, write, and modify permissions, may have the read-only permissions to use lost connection with the network drive. The experience that issue, the contact technical support staff issue the receive the files directory within an atmosphere in the name, use of the read, write, modify the permission of the CI, and send your CDI. CDOMP IM Student Internet Gateway Temporary Folder. Contact your technical support staff and assistance. Verify and modify the current sending of the received directory. Go to the security view of the educational content and select the file of new security view. Right click on this financial student aid user ID. Click property directories and then click down on the arrow next database. Select receive and send the current directory for each of the will be listed in the box and below. Alright, see arrow 4XX. The XXX denotes any of the number combinations that results of a slowing network connection, which may be due to the problems of the network, usually the high network that may be transmitting successfully. Edge connection error 4XX, usually a temporary problem resulting in itself waiting, trying another transmission later, frequently solve the problem, but without any further action on the part. This is below are some of the possible causes of the error 4XX. General connection problem and connectivity problems. Your network may be running slowly, dropping its connection to the internet, checking the technical support staff to see if the problems with the network connection. Usually heavy traffic of the local network may cause the error 4X. If only experience a 4XX at a certain time of the day, check the network administrations to see if those times can see with the peaking network demand. Usually on the heavy traffic, the standard internet gateway may cause the error 4XX to try another transmission later. Peak student aid internet gateway usage is often between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Central Time. If use of access internet with the LAN with me rebooting your computer may help to resolve the error 4XX. Restarting your computer will establish a new connection to your network. You may have too many programs running. So see if closing the programs will stop the error and increase the transmission speed of your network. User software net will set priorities for the internet connection to limited internet access. Program sets priority to the internet traffic can trigger the error of the priority edge connection. So too low edge connection may time out with the error 1 over the error 4x. Another program files internet packet scan files during the transmission may interfere with the Edconnect. Check with the network administrator that may want to disassemble them types of programs temporarily to see if the programs are causing the problem. Also, errors 5XX listed below are some of the possible causes of the 5XX problem. Error: this is your student aid internet gateway password has expired. If you receive the error 5131, you need to transmit the new student aid internet gateway password. The error code appears with the activity log with the middle of the window with the transmission screen file that failed transmission and education assisting with the likely to complete the student aid internet gateway password. If you select yes, the program takes the appropriate network wizard security screen, walks you through the password changes. You'll need to perform another transmission order to transmit the new password. See area 536 below the student aid internet gateway password rules. Please note that the performing the network local student aid internet gateway change if it does not change your user password local in the context refer to the fact that the education content stored in the student aid internet gateway password locally and within the database. Alright, and then there's login incorrect. Please check the passwords. Logging in incorrect. You're attempting to reuse previously used TG password. Your password does not meet the minimum criteria. You have exceeded the maximum number of attempts to log in an account but to be logged out. Either the TG number exists and the TG password you provided was incorrect previously for occurrence. Error 10. No network defines TD client IN file. The error 10 usually indicates the ED content was installed the correctly backed up database. The ED context MD database. You install ED content, perform the full installation, replace the bank ED connection. MD database will be backed up and place the call in student aid internet gateway help desk for the assistance necessary. Inadequate permission or setting. You have not registered permission to access the read-write of the modification required for local drive, including the CIAM student internet gateway temporary directory file with the location, network location, education database for the education connection, Edconnect8 MD database, and if applicable, to check the technical support team confirming your permission, but they have network technical relation log on the workstation as administrative of the transmission. If the transmission is successful, the technician will need to change your permissions for access rights. Alright, 717 error 13, inadequate permission settings in the list file in user another program. You may not have an permission to access right the workstation network travel to the Edconnect read write and modify permissions required for local drive, including the C drive AM SCAGAM temporary directory network location education database education 8 database technical support staff that have network technical logical inventory workstation as administrator try the transmission. If the transmission is successful, the technical will need to change your permissions for access right to the list file is used in another program. During the test, the student aid internet gateway encountered the error with the list file was open in another program during the transmission. 718 error 15, inadequate permission settings. You may not have the necessary permissions to access the workstation necessary to transmit the add content rewrite or the modify the required with the CIM drive set student internet gateway temporary directory, including the TCID and info client info with this directory. Check with the technical support staff. Have a network technician log in the workstation administrative of the transmission. If the transmission is successful, the technician will need to change your permission to access for the ED client info with the missing of the C drive IM internet gateway temporary directory. Install the installation education connection. 719 error 34 will receive an error 35 if there's not sufficient free space on the drive on which setting of the receiving folders are located. Make sure the drive is full enough has a free space. 7110 error 70, the education may not be training access file the folder network drive within other the drive trying to access restart your computer in the transmission again with the error 73. The error indicates the education cannot be connected with the student internet gateway. The education connection not responding out of its firewall, preventing the ED content for the accessing the internet. See error 1 above some possible causes. Error 103, the restart the computer and trying to another transmission to continue. The error 103, back up the education connection database that you installed, reinstall the edge connection, restore the original database, collect and attack the CPS is doing an internet gateway technical support, but if you need assistance. Error 107, the AFTP session cannot be initiated. The error occurs when the FTP session cannot be initiated with the ED content. See error 1 for the possible cause of the error. Some of the ED content program files are found folders are ready and have inadequate files that have been saved with the CD have been read only error attributed to set with the default. This should restore the ED content file with the CD backup. Make sure that they remove the read only with attributed to all restored files. Alright, C114, error 203, the education may be attempting to assess the file and folder of the network drive that uses another user of the program. Restart your computer and try another transmission. CFET115, error 234, the error 4X, use the prior version of Edconnect8 X can also cause this error. Alright, son, 72 non-numerical errors. The invalid sender of the message class, the error referencing the connection 32 files. Invalid sender of the message class, error referencing files other than connection 32. Path does not exist during the transmission. System error can encounter during the shell executing Windows 2000. System errors unable to be added remove headers and trailers. Catalog, Klog, DOC errors during the transmission include catalog doc added and it appears that the record also has been sent and unnecessary. Catalog doc added request record not found with the sending of the record not found in the transmission parts really successful. Catalog doc and the activity element invalid field compressed file name. Catalog doc add strike activity element invalid file first file field name. CDQ doc added invalid element contents file system error. CM doc to move to the 2Q. Unable to move the item number to XXXTQ. The CC2 doc add message class not found with the system error of the CMail doc moved to the the TQ memory error has occurred. Data file dialog appears after selecting transmitted, now preventing it from being sent or received. A database of errors has occurred. A syntax error Thursday, January 2013, blah, 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 blah. A database error has occurred with the description unrecognized database format. DAO errors. Non-valid bookmark DAO database. This network error in the DAO record set. New current record of the DAO record. A space record is deleted with the DAO database. This is network error of the DAO database engine. Proceed the database error with occurred. The database occurred with this error description could not find with the C drive IAM database Edconnect8 MDB database DAA workspace. Educational installer unable to see the network drivers. And an error has occurred. Please contact the student aid internet gateway customer service. The error occurs without uplogging. Go to my computer, open the CIM student internet gateway temporary directly. Open the education errors file, notepad, WordPad. Go to the bottom of the verify the last system date, system time, the match type, the received, the error, the return code will be unknown. Locate the return description, consult in the time below. Return the description mentioned timestamps included correct. The computer's clock to match with the current use time in the exact minute. Return the description WSE065 the creation of the timestamp in the future. Return the creation of the timestamp in the future typically indicates the lack of the synchronization better sending receiver clocks. Make sure the clocks are synchronized for the use of time tolerance for the second elements. Microsoft Web Service 3 configuration. Second, adjusting tolerance for the lack of the clock and synchronization. Return the description of WSE066 times expired. Return the description of the WSE06 time expired. This indicates the stale message. It may also be caused by the lack of synchronization between the sender and the receiver clocks. Make sure the clocks are synchronized using the time tolerance second elements in the Microsoft Web Service configuration section. Adjusting tolerance of the lack of the time synchronization. Alright, return description unable to connect the remote service. The return description of the operation that is timed out. Return description the request was aborted, but the request is canceled. Return description the remote has been the remote name could be not resolved. The return description the remote service return on the arrow. The 407 authentication requirement. Return the description the unreliable connection was closed and could not establish the trust relations between the SSL and the TLS secure channel. Internal occurrence with the errors listed above. Return description of WC3033 certificate in trust chain custody now be verified. The chain of the certificate is properly installed with the trusted people. The certificate store you might want to allow the test root configuration section of the truth test of the certificate. A file error has occurred. The description of the file cannot be accessed. The file error has been occurred with the description unknown. With the exemption error of the installed version of the application cannot be turned from the error when they try to install the education connection. Education opening with the education help. The help of the program was created with Windows helping which for the use of the previous version of Windows not supported in Windows Vista. The help of the program was created with Windows help. The format depends on the feature that is not included with Windows and the version Windows help that can be downloaded. The program would always view the help created with the Windows help. The format the help with the program was created with Windows help format which depends on the feature that is included with the version of Windows. For the more information, go to the Microsoft Help Support website. The MFC application encountered a problem needs to close. The ED connection at 7 application encountered with the problem needs to close. Non-valid path must end with the / error occurs when trying to start the education after installation. Password not changed in the EDC client INE. Search void key was not found in any of the record. Untolerable tests. Sending of the receive of the transmission queue. No drop-down errors under activity. Server's busy. They can also complete the because the other program is busy and choose the switch to activate the busy program and correct the problem system error. The PC mail doc the move to the TQ unable to modify the number of the TQ transmission. You do not have the access to the function when trying to transmit. You do not have permission to use the Edconnect. Preparing the AD connection database for the outside the Edconnect. If it prevents logging, the Edconnect will enable the compact repair the database. The Edconnect MD for the outside of the Edconnect. To do this, you must obtain the database and Microsoft Access to require the assistance of the technical support staff. Go to the directory containing the database and double-click on the following instructions from the Microsoft Access 2010 and 2007 and 2010. And then it goes into security authentication errors.